Fuchs in the house. How's everybody doing this Saturday? Just did some grocery shopping, ran around for the parents a little bit. Um, kind of doing odd and end stuff today. Put up my artificial tree, decorated a little in the apartment, and made a cocktail, vodka and cranberry ginger ale. Season's greetings, everybody. And hope everybody is having a good evening. I have ribs in the slow cooker right now that about 40 minutes away from, yeah, we're even under that. Yeah, about a half hour that we'll be digging into that. And so decided to, what should I do for meantime? And I thought, why not do a video? And do have some Christmas. Get a little Christmas music in the background while getting things together here. So basically did laundry today and ended up seeing a gentleman who had to deal with a behavioral resident that ended up I guess going a walkabout, and just it's interesting that this gentleman basically, wandering around. You could see that some issues were there, but the person that was dealing with him basically trying to be as calm as possible, make sure that the gentleman didn't do anything, and just seeing people doing jobs that I don't think get recognition. I know this is kind of probably, I don't know how unique, but he's dealing with this probably daily at the residence itself. But to see him in public, it just is something that just seeing stuff that you just don't see every day. And the type of work that's out there that you just don't know people are doing. So that was kind of a little wake up call, I guess, or it's like, oh wow, didn't even think about it. So that's give a to people out there that are doing jobs that don't get any credit, and they probably should. So here's to everyone that has those kind of jobs. So did some movies and did some streaming movies, like a couple DVDs. For streaming movies, I got a couple horror and then a couple action, spy thriller kind of movies. Start with, I guess, the horror flicks. First one, Dustwalker, 2019 Australian movie. This is aliens and parasites kind of affect a town, and nobody can leave the town, and kind of has a little Tremors, little to it, but this got a 3.8, and I don't think it was a 3.8. It gets the over 4, because when you're under 4, I think you kind of like, yeah, that's not a good movie. And for a horror flick, this is worth it. You can watch it. You're not going to sit there and go, oh, this is bad, or this is terrible. It can be, horror flicks come and go, and everybody even has their type of horror flicks. So, but 3.8, I just didn't think it was correct. Next movie, I am putting in the horror category, and this is where a couple YouTube videos ago kind of put this. I should talk about it that night. Is The Call, 2013. Oh, and for Dustwalker, Jolene Anderson and Chef Dawson are in this movie. With The Call, 2013, Halle Berry and Abigail Breslin. They have this as a thriller crime, and I am going to go with thriller horror on this. I think there's enough slashing in this movie that it should go into the horror category. I'm all right with saying that. And but basically, A girl gets kidnapped, ends up calling 911, and they're trying to figure out where she is, trying to save her, try to help her out. And Berry's the dispatcher. And it's all right movie to watch. It does its thing, but yeah, it does have a little slashing in it, in horror. So that's where I was like, yeah, this kind of, I mean, they have crime thriller, and it's like, nah, I kind of can go a little horror on this one. So I'll put it in the horror category. Next movie, going with 24 Hours to Live, 2017, Ethan Hawke and Paul Anderson. Basically, an agent's given 24 hours to live, and he decides to get revenge on the people that are responsible for what got screwed up. And it does a decent job. If you're looking for an action movie, it holds its own. At the end, it could become a sequel if they'd want to. And then next one is a spy thriller, The Double, 2011. Richard Gere and Topher Grace are in this. Basically, double agent. The U.S. is trying to figure out a double agent that's killed some Russians, and trying to figure that out. Storyline's okay, and even in towards the 3/4 of the way in the movie, could be a little further, closer to the end, but there is a twist to the movie, so there is something there watchable while you're watching the movie, that there some comes into play. And then my two DVDs, I kind of went back to crime cop movies from back in the 80s and 90s. First one, Excessive Force, Thomas Ian Griffith, and this was 1993. Yeah, correct. James Earl Jones and Lance Hendrickson are in this. Basically, Thomas Ian Griffith's partner gets killed. Kind of has to figure out. He thinks it's the mob, and again, for that movie and time frame, these are kind of movies that were put out. It kind of was interesting that it's martial. There's a little martial arts in it, so if you are looking for an action movie, it does the job. Again, for that time frame, these are kind of movies that were put out. And then next one, Charles Bronson went with Murphy's Law, and this was 1986, which I didn't know was that long ago. This movie I'm going to talk about because the person that's the bad guy, I think, does a good job as an evil person. And Carrie Snodgress plays the person. And basically, Charles Bronson gets framed for his ex-wife murder and gets handcuffed to a car thief, Kathleen Wilhoit. And with that, Kathleen's character basically, just if there's a swear jar involved, she'd go broke. She just goes with it. It kind of, it's to a point where it's like, okay, at first, but if you see the movie a couple times, it kind of grows on you, I guess. But yeah, there is a lot of swearing in it, but again, Carrie Snodgrass's character, I really think, for an evil character, for if you watch this movie and you put it in contents of other evil, I think it's underrated character. She does a pretty good job of playing someone that's very evil-minded. So basically, some revenge on Charles Bronson's occurring, and he has to figure it out. So those are my movies, and I'm going to be wrapping this up, and I know I should be putting this out right away, but I think I'm going to be digging into some dinner first, and then I'll probably put the video out. So, but thanks for everybody that's watching my videos. Appreciate it. And again, I just do it for the fun of it. Something just to kill some time and gives people something different to look at. I know it isn't the highest point in the world, but there's some conversations out there. It's like, I think people are like, why am I watching or listening to this? Even though it's like stuff they probably enjoy, but it's like you get to a point, it's like you just get overburdened with stuff. And why not talk about some movies? And if you want to make some comments, please do. Have a good one.